Hi, I'm Michty Maxx and I'm here to share this video all about purple lipstick. Everything from the ever popular liquid to matte lipsticks. I've got some bullet lipsticks, some dark purples, and bright neon violets. I am an absolute purple lipstick junkie, but it is so hard to find that shade that really hits you just right. So this is part 2 of the eternal struggle to find the perfect purple lipstick. And this is all my bullet lipsticks, and I've also got a chubby stick as well. And if you want to see part 1, check the card or the description box. If you want to see the tutorial on the makeup that I'm wearing here, you can check out the card or the description box below. If you're wondering what I'm wearing now, it's the Pretty Zombie Cosmetics 3 Witches liquid lipstick. So I'm gonna jump right in. The first bullet lipstick I've got is Lime Crime's Boysenberry, and they're very famous for their packaging, and I also have a review on my blog linked below that goes into sparkling detail of all of their packaging and lipsticks. This lipstick has a vanilla scent to it, but isn't too obnoxious. It goes for $18, and that's for 3.5 grams of product. It's also professed on their site to be cruelty-free and vegan. Boysenberry was a bit disappointing for me because it doesn't come out the same shade as it is in the bullet. The tube shows a beautiful shimmery dark purple color, but when you put it on your lips, you get much more of a berry toned shade. It's more of a maroon shade than I'd like, and isn't very satisfying for a dark purple lipstick. The application isn't perfect either, and the pigment actually catches in some areas. I can sort of get this lipstick to work to my taste if I put down another dark purple lip liner underneath it. I like to use Maxx Chromographic Pencil in rich purple, however that still leaves you with a bit of a patchy application and more of a pinky purple than I'd like. This one definitely leaves me wanting more, and I don't reach for it much at all. Now I've got some MAC lipsticks to share with you. These are all 3 grams and cost $36 in Australia. The first one I've got to show you is Heroine, and it's described as a bright purple. Heroine was my first MAC lipstick and also one of my disappointing purples. It leans to a very red way and is almost the pink/purple of Utopia that you saw before. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice color straight off, but it just really doesn't do it for me. It's not as opaque as I'd like, and it lets a lot of the natural skin tone show through, and it can also apply kinda patchy. It has a creamy texture, and like most MAC lipsticks, is pretty comfortable to wear. They say it's a matte formula, but it's nothing like the Ruby Woo Ultra Matte. And then I found Violetta, which is described as a bright, clean violet purple. I bought this lipstick because I thought it would impress me more than Heroine, and I did my research before finding out it was meant to be a beefed up version of that shade. It is definitely nicer because of its amplified and shimmery finish, and its blue overtone is really lovely. However, it is still a weak purple, and it has natural skin tone showing through as well. And the same problem with the patchiness and the product catching on itself when you try and apply enough layers to get opacity. Both of those 2 MAC lipsticks stain the lips quite heavily even after removing with waterproof makeup remover. And they also wear off from the center with that bright pink kind of tone. And I've also added Cyber, which is a really dark one, and it's described as an intense blackish purple. It's much more of a red toned purple that is all but black without going all the way. I guess it's a blackberry color, and it's good if you want to wear a super dark lipstick but don't want to whip out the black. It applies smoothly and fairly evenly, with just a touch of patchiness, and with its creamy formula is comfortable on the lips. It wears pretty well and doesn't stain heavily. Now I have this Melt Cosmetics by Starlight dark purple shade. It is also vegan as professed by their site. This one is 3.2 grams and costs $19. Plus shipping of course, because it's an online company like a lot of these are. This shade is what I had hoped that Boysenberry would have been. It is a fantastic dark purple with an extremely matte finish. The lipstick has to be warmed up, like by rubbing it on the back of your hand, because it's kind of stiff to apply, which you may know about a lot of Melt Cosmetics matte lipsticks. Although it is super long lasting with a velvety matte finish. It smells nice with a vanilla undertone and it has a great pigment payoff. It is a bit drying on the lips, as a matte texture lipstick usually is, and it does have a touch of red tone to it, but it isn't too far gone. There is some mega staining with this lipstick, but not as much as the 3 Witches one, and it wears off from the center with a powerful magenta shade, but as I said, I don't really mind staining lipsticks. There is some product transfer with this one, which makes it not as awesome as the liquid to matte lipsticks, so it's not as great if you want to put on your lips and not worry about it on a night out. And despite its difficulty in application, it is still up there with one of my favorites. And I've got a couple of the colored Raine lipsticks in the old packaging, and I actually won these in an Instagram competition, but I'm still going to tell you what I think of them. These are 3.5 grams and now cost $15. They have a pink lipstick tube, not the black one anymore though. This one is called Arabian Nights and is a nice nice dark purple with a creamy finish, and might be one of the best bullet lipsticks I've got. It is actually my second favourite lipstick after the Three Witches one from Pretty Zombie. It applies a touch patchy, but is better than the MAC ones and is comfortable on the lips. As with all cream lipsticks, there is product transfer, and there is a lot of heavy staining when you take this one off. As with most of the purple lipsticks, it's a bright pink shade. This one is slightly more blue toned overall, and that's why I like it more. For another light purple, I have VVS Lip Sync. This one is a beautiful light lavender shade with a creamy finish. It has a grey undertone and works really nice for gothic makeup looks. It's not as bright as the other neon lime crime rave colour, but I really like this shade because it's really pigmented. And as far as staining, you don't get it because of its light pigment colour. And this is the last one. I have the Revlon Colorburst Matte Balm in Shameless. This is 2.7 grams and is $17.95 in the chubby stick packaging which you twist up. This is another drugstore one which I do like better than the Australis liquid lipstick. This is a dark purple with a great persuasion and has more of a red tone to it. It's not as dark as the other purples I've got, which I like much better. The pigmentation is alright, but it's not totally opaque. It's fine for the convenience of just whacking it on and not using a pencil underneath, but because of the large tip, that can become hard as the time goes on. This lipstick doesn't stain much and its wear is average. And I also have some OCC lip tars, which I really love for their mixing ability. Plus they're easy customization, and when you want to get creative with lip art, they're the best thing to use. They are 100% vegan and cruelty-free as claimed by OCC. All the lip tars have a light mint scent, but isn't too cooling or tingling like a lip plumper would be. They are $18 US, and each squeezy tube has 10 mils of product that you will pretty much never get through. They do need to be applied with the brush, so they're not the most convenient of all these products, but you do need just such a tiny amount to apply a really nice opaque layer. I guess since you need to supply your own applicator could be a negative, but it's easy if you take a capped lip brush like this one, which you can just pop in your handbag. And this one is Belladonna, described as an ultraviolet, but I'm not sure if that's what I'd call it. It was one of the first purple lipsticks I actually ever bought, when I was just heavily getting into lip art and makeup and that kind of thing. It always seemed a little less opaque than I wanted, and showed the natural lip color through a bit. It wasn't blue toned enough for me, and has kind of like a reddish tinge to it. I do still quite like it, because you can add the blue lip tar, which is called RX, to it, to get a more of a blue toned lip. Plus I love to mix it with the white one to get a nice violet shade. I more recently got Roller Girl, and it's described as a vibrant lavender purple. I actually bought this one on a whim because I thought it was going to be a brighter color than Belladonna and hoped it would be a bit more blue toned. However, it is slightly lighter and a bit more of a pinky shade, but it is still nice. Once again, it has mixing potential. Both of these lip tars are described as a matte finish, but I find that they appear still kind of creamy on the lips. They do have some color transfer and don't completely dry down. The pink lip tars I have are much better at drying down and staying on. These ones do stain your lips and you do still have some color remaining, but it does rub off in that kind of pinky tone as I said. And that's it! That's all of my purple liquid lipsticks, bullet lipsticks, chubby sticks, and god there's so many! Thanks for watching! I hope you enjoyed this purple lipstick review and swatch video, and don't forget to subscribe. Also check out my band and podcast on iTunes.
Click the little boxes if you want to see other tutorials of mine.